Gonna be a nice day for pickling. That's right. We are in the kitchen with the executive chef from the Santa Fe Culinary Academy, Rocky Durham.
How's it going?
Rocky, we're doing great. Excellent. So
we're pickling today.
We're pickling.
That's right.
Now I've heard of pickling, but walk me through the ingredients that you need for pickling.
Well, sure. Basically, you know, pickling is a preservation method. So what we're talking about now is putting up the bounty of the summer and the harvest and having it to enjoy year-round. That's the essence of pickling, okay? And this goes back to like prehistoric times. And basically, really what you need is a brine. There's different ways to brine pickles, but what we're going to be doing today is a combination of vinegar, water, and salt. And those are going to be our preservatives.
Great. Now walk me through what you have here.
Okay. Well, you know, the regular pickle brine, just your basic vinegar, salt, and distilled water, and that's key, especially if you have really hard water, because that minerality will come out in the flavors. If you have soft water, you can get away with it, but it's best to just buy a gallon of distilled water or get, you know, filter it through your RO. And that's just kind of basic, but at this point you have the opportunity to really give your pickles some character. All right? So I've brought some additional aromatic ingredients here. So one of the things that's really common to see in a pickling brine are mustard seeds. So I've got some mustard seeds here, and what I'm going to do with all of my aromatics first is just give them a little toast. So I've got a dry, hot pan here.
Toasting them.
And it's going to bring out those volatile oils and that aromatic quality.
And you're mixing all the aromatics together.
I am.
Just throwing it all in.
Black peppercorns.
And they're not crushed up. So usually you see the crushed black pepper. It's important not to crush them?
Well, you can crush it. I mean, it does release some of those volatile oils a little quicker. But what we're talking about are these pickles are going to be in a jar in the brine for a while. And you might, like if you can, in your mind's eye, if you can imagine a jar of pickles, you might see little mustard seeds and black peppercorn and what have you. I'm going to use a little dried Mexican oregano.
I don't know if you guys can hear this. Listen. Oh, and now they stop. Way to go, guys. Right on cue.
Live TV. A little bit of Mexican oregano I'm going to put in here as well. And then I like to have a couple of bay leaves as well. I just think it's a classic aromatic. Now, at this point, you can personalize it with whatever ingredients you want.
Are there certain things that you can't, so you're saying you get creative with this, are there certain things that you want to keep out of that brine? That might destroy the pickling?
Well, a lot of times people add sugar to sweeten it up, and it's not going to destroy it, but make sure that your seasonings are balanced. And the only way to really do this is by tasting. So when you put together your pickle brine, which is what we're going to do right here, I've got a mixture of salt and distilled water and apple cider vinegar I'm using today. You can use distilled vinegar or whatever. I would stay away from like an expensive balsamic, because it's just going to taste of expensive balsamic vinegar. Might as well just say that. So you can see there's a little bit of smoke coming out.
You can
smell get those aromatics. What I'm going to do is just put those into our pickling brine. So what I've done here is just infused. It's like giving a quick infusion of those flavors. All right. So at this point, where the pickling takes place. So our brine is prepared. What I have here are a couple different jars with just some examples of what you might be able to pickle. So I've got some sliced cucumber. That's the obvious one. That's when we think of pickles, you know, if you just say pickle, it's pickled cucumber that we're thinking of. But there's lots of other stuff to pickle. Green beans. And these are, you know, coming out of the ground right now as well. So it's a good time.
So there's a ton of things you can pickle.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and you might see here I've got like watermelon rind. And that's kind of an unexpected one.
Yeah, very much.
And it's a way to utilize something that you otherwise would discard. It's very popular in the South. This year is the first time I've ever actually pickled watermelon rind. Now in this jar here, I have something that I call, or we would call escabeche. All right, and these are jalapenos and escabeche. And basically, I have fresh jalapenos that I split in half, and then just a myriad of other ingredients to create this kind of jardiniere, like a New Mexican jardiniere. So there's carrots and onions and garlic and a couple slices of lemon in there and what have you, and it just makes this wonderful like condiment to serve adjacent to your taco bar, perhaps. And, anyhow, I have a little story though. When we were getting set up this morning, I knew that I was going to try and open the pickle jar before it was on live TV. And this actually took 2 cameramen, one chef, and one of your guests to get this open. And there was like 3 of us manhandling. Oh, we tried everything. Hot water, hitting it with the bolster of a knife, and then one of your earlier guests, the gentleman from Comcast, said, "Why don't you put a little knife under there and release the pressure?" And it worked.
Chris Duncan.
Chris,
let me tell you, he'll hook you up with your internet cable, and he'll open up your pickle.
So I have a question. I'm not as familiar with pickling. How long do you have to leave everything in there? Before you can just.
There's a lot of factors involved in that. First of all, how big are the pieces? If you're going to pickle a whole cucumber, it's going to take longer than if you pickle a slice of a cucumber. All right. I would like to bring the pickling medium up to a simmer before I add it into the jar. If you do that, if it's simmering when it goes in, it's going to happen quicker than if it's cold when it goes in. You know, these reactions happen faster at a warmer temperature.
So are we talking hours, days? Is it?
You can start eating them in hours.
Okay.
But in a few days, they're going to perform a lot better.
So
what
days
you want to see,
ideal.
It's ideal. And especially with cucumbers, we know the difference visually between a slice of cucumber and a pickle. There's the flesh develops that translucency.
Yep.
And so you can visually determine when your pickles
are
ready.
There's a lot to learn here.
Yes.
And so, you know, obviously you are teaching at the Culinary Academy. Now, I want to talk about some scholarship opportunities.
That's right.
So say Brittany and I, you know, this TV thing doesn't work out. We want to come up and be chefs.
We get a lot of career changers at the Culinary Academy. No, it's actually about 50% of our student body is made up of career changers. Whether people are air traffic controllers or IT, or we have a gentleman who was working at a nuclear power plant who came to work for us.
Wow.
Study with us. Our class begins, our next class begins on September 21st.
Okay.
But we still have scholarship opportunities. So if you go to SantaFeCulinaryAcademy.com, and please go. We spent a fortune on this website. We did it for you. It would be just please for me. I mean, I did it for you, so please help me out here. Check it out. Go under scholarships. Fill out an application. Fill out our scholarship application. We still have some places in this new cohort coming up. If you've been on the fence about maybe a career in culinary, it is an amazing opportunity right now to get your foot in the door.
That's great.
We have amazing instructors. You got to come up and see our facility sometime. We love to show it off to the public. Any one of you out there in TV land,
you can come in and check it out beforehand.
Absolutely. And we encourage people to spend a day with us in the kitchen just to try it on.
Fantastic.
You know, see, does it feel right? Because it's not for everyone.
And Rocky, that super expensive website, what is the address again?
3 W's, SantaFeCulinaryAcademy.com.
SantaFeCulinaryAcademy.
Yeah, we had to spell the whole thing out because there already was like the South Florida Canine Association and whatever. So SFCA, but the SantaFeCulinaryAcademy.com.
SantaFeCulinaryAcademy.com, guys. Head over there. Of course, we'll have links for that at Casa.com. Stay with us, guys.